Hi, my name is Glory Bella, and I wanted to share the story of Puss in Boots with you. Puss in Boots comes from 17th and 18th century France. Okay, here goes. Once upon a time in France, there lived an old miller. The old miller had 3 sons, and the 3 sons were concerned about him because he was growing older every day and more frail, and he would frequently drop his money on the ground or forget to make deliveries. 2 of the sons happened to be very greedy, and they forced their father to retire and give the business to them. The eldest son took the mill. The second eldest took the donkey to take supplies from the mill to the town. And the third son, having nothing left, was given the little cat who was the ratter of the mill, named Puss. Now, the youngest miller's son, Robin, happened to know that Puss was a very clever cat and delighted in the fact that he got the cat Puss for himself, but he had no money. Puss told him, he said, "Robin, do not worry. We are going to make you successful yet." So Puss happened to find a silver coin on the ground that the miller had dropped, and he said, "Robin, I would really love to get a pair of boots. Will you please take me to the boot shop so I can purchase a pair of boots?" And Robin goes, "Well, I don't know what the boots are going to do, but Puss, absolutely, let's do it." So they go into the town, and Puss picks out the best pair of beautiful boots to put on his feet. The next day, having heard that the ogre in the nearby tower was taking all of the crops in the field for himself, and he was eating all of the game in the land, and everybody was very hungry, Puss decided that he was going to drum up some game for the king. And he found a couple of heads of lettuce and some old discarded carrots, and he put them in a sack and took them out to a field and made a trap. And some rabbits happened to come by that the ogre had not eaten. And just as they were entering the bag, Puss ensnared them in the bag and captured them. And then, with his beautiful boots, he stomped up to the castle, took to the guard at the gate, and he said, "Monsieur, please let me in." And the guard said, "Well, on what business is this?" And he goes, "I have game for the king from the Marquis de Sables." And the guard looked at him and he goes, "Well, you look very important with your boots, so I think I will let you in." And he let Puss in to the castle. He stomped up to the king with his very impressive boots and said, "Here is your game, king, and this is from the Marquis de Sables." And the king said, "Wow, that is very nice of this fellow. We haven't had game in a long time." So he thanked Puss for the hairs that he received, and he made a note in his mind of the Marquis de Sables. Robin came home to the young miller's son. Puss came home to the miller's son Robin and said, "I need you to do something for me. Every day at noon, the king rides by in his carriage next to this pond, and you are going to jump in the water right before that happens." And Robin said, "Puss, I have no idea why you want me to do this." Puss said, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry, I have a plan." So the next day, right before noon, Robin jumped in the water, but he couldn't swim. He started flailing around, and then, just then, the king's carriage came by, and Puss said, "Oh my goodness, it is the Marquis de Sables in the water, struggling king." And the king goes, "Ah, yes, I remember. He brought me those 2 hares to eat. We must help him." So they pulled Robin out of the water, and they said, "For your great graciousness from yesterday, we are going to dress you in the best finery." And suddenly, out of the castle comes Robin in this great finery, and next to him is Puss in his beautiful boots. Finally, there was the next day a group of peasants, and Puss said to them, "I see that your crops have failed. It is awful what is going on. I will restore your crops, though, but you must do a favor for me in return." And the peasants said, "Absolutely anything. We want our crops back." Puss said, "Okay. When the carriage rides by, you shall say, 'This is the land of the Marquis de Sablesse.'" The peasant said, "We can absolutely do that." So Puss nodded his head, stomped off in his precious boots to the ogre's tower. When he got to the ogre's tower, he used his wits and skill, and in his great boots he said to the ogre, "Oh, ogre, you are great, I hear, but I don't know how great. So perhaps you can show me." And the ogre goes, "Well, maybe perhaps." And he goes, "As great as you seem, I don't know if you can transform yourself." Ogre goes, "I absolutely can transform myself. I can do anything." And Puss said, "Okay, ogre, transform yourself into a lion." And the ogre immediately transformed himself into a roaring lion. And Puss goes, "Well, that is super impressive, ogre." And he stomps with his boots. "But maybe, perhaps, you can't make yourself the smallest of creatures. Transform yourself into a mouse." And the ogre goes very tiny and transforms himself into a mouse. And before he realizes it, Puss jumps on the ogre's transformed mouse and gobbles him up whole. So the ogre is now gone. Puss grabs a feather from the ogre's hat, which has contained magic, and leaves the tower, goes back to the fields where the peasants are trying to salvage their ruined crops, and takes the feather and squeezes out one drop of magic water from the feather. And instantly the fields are transformed into lush, verdant green fields bursting with crops. And the peasants thank him profusely, and Puss in his boots says, "Okay, here comes the king. Do it now." And the peasants shout, "This is the land of the Marquis de Sablesse." And the king looks around him in wonder and goes, "Wow, the Marquis de Sablesse has very beautiful crops and is dressed in his finery, and he has this magnificent, clever cat with him. I must introduce him to my daughter." And so that is how Robin, the young miller's son, married the King of France's daughter and became royalty with Puss in Boots. And the last note I will say is that Puss, now a royal cat, was transformed to have golden boots. So I hope you enjoyed the story of Puss in Boots with our little elegant kitty cat named Puss. Have a great night.